And good afternoon, everybody. It is time for the weekly update for week 12 of episode Heresy. For everyone new here, this is the weekly series where I cover everything new each week going on inside the game. So feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're new here and like the video so you can stay up to date on every week of Destiny for the near foreseeable future. That said, I am taking this week off of streaming, so there is no streams this week for Destiny or any of my other games. However, next Tuesday around 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be streaming the entirety of the episode Heresy narrative from beginning of Act 1 to the end of Act 3. So if you want to check it out and see the entire narrative all out in one sitting, feel free. And the VOD for it will be going up, I believe, next Friday at around noon if you missed the stream. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the weekly update, shall we? Starting off with our rotating playlists. Alright. Over in our Vanguard Strikes, this week's Grandmaster is the reprised Sunless Cell Strike. The weapon this week is going to be the Palindrome Arc Hand Cannon. I'll have a link to the rolls that you can get for it in the description below. It is also double Nightfall Rewards Week, as well as double Vanguard Rank. So it's a good time to grind out and get at double perk rolls on your weapons. Also this week, with a unique twist, is the return of essentially strike emblems. So if you complete the new Sunless Cell Strike on any Nightfall level between today at reset and before the reset on the next Monday, you'll be able to earn the Break Free emblem. You'll see it in the thumbnail banner for this video. Alright. Over in the land of Crucible, this week we have Doubles Clash, Mayhem, and Zone Control. So if you want to, goof around Crucible or something, there's some good playlists to do that in. 4-hour rotating raids. They are both in the Legends tab this week. We have both Crota's End and Vault of Glass. So if you're looking for Necrochasm or Vex Mythoclast, or the craftable weapon, any craftable weapons from either of those raids, this is a good time to farm out anything you need from both of them, as well as get the wet catalyst for both those guns. Alright, and then while we're here, the exotic mission this week is Operation Seraph Shield, so if you're trying to get Revision 0, good time to get that out of the way. Alright, 4-hour dungeons. The first one, the first one being Grasp of Avarice over here in Eternity. Wait. It is not appearing, oddly enough. Alright, the second dungeon this week is the Warlord's Ruin. So if you're trying to get Buried Bloodline, good time to get that knocked out of the way, as well as get his Catalyst done. Alright. Just a quick update, when the second dungeon becomes seeable, I'll have it in the pinned message comment in the description below, so you can make sure you find it easily enough. Alright. 4-hour co-op mission starting in the Pale Heart. This week's mission is Descent. It's going to be, don't forget you'll need at least one other partner with you so you can shoot the front and back of a certain enemy, as well as shoot a series of nodes in various rooms to be able to press forward at the same time. Same for the enemy. And then our daily match-made overthrow is currently in the Blooming. So if you're trying to get Ergo Sum or a good roll on your exotic class item, good time to get that farmed out today. Alright, in the Dreaming City, our weekly Ascendant Challenge is going to be in Agronach Abyss of the Bay of Drowned Wishes. So if you're trying to get some more XP from your Season Pass, good time to get that knocked out of the way. And while we're also here in the Dreaming City, the weekly Lost Sector rotating begins here. It'll be in Alphean's Rest. So if you want to get either exotic engrams or world weapon drops, feel free to farm it out here. Also, for the remainder of the week, continuing, on Wednesday, we'll have Chamber of Starlight as our daily Lost Sector. Then on Thursday, we'll have Hydroponics Delta over in Neomuna. On Friday, the Gilded Precept also in Neomuna. And on Saturday, Thrilladrome in Neomuna. Then on Sunday, we'll jump to the Pale Heart with the Broken Deep. And then lastly, on Monday, before reset, it'll be the Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart. Once again, I'll have those listed in the description, in the pinned comment below, so you can keep update on the daily Lost Sector rotation for the week. Alright, and then lastly, over on Neptune, over here in Ashma Park, we have our weekly terminal overload. And then over here in Zephyr Concourse is our daily Vex Incursion Zone, with, sadly, no incursion happening at this time. Alright, that is it for our rotators. Reminder, anything that I missed will be in the pinned comment below, so feel free to check that out as things might get updated as we go along. Alright, now for our weekly seasonal challenges for week 12. We have Total Corruption. Complete the Nether activity with at least 3 corrupted boons acquired during the run. Subclass Synergy. Defeat combatants with a damage type that matches your current equipped subclass. Any damage type counts if it's using the prismatic subclass. Power Trip. Deal final blows with power ammo in any ritual activity. Expedited Violence. Rapidly defeat targets in Crucible, Gambit, or Vanguard. Bonus progress is granted for Guardian final blows. And then lastly, Superfluous. Defeat Guardians in the Clash playlist with super abilities. Alright. And that is it for our week 12 seasonal challenges. Lastly, let's go ahead and dive into the Eververse once again. And then for anyone new here, I only cover Bright Dust offerings and nothing with silver. So let's go ahead and check that out, shall we? Alright. Starting off on the front page, we have the Inventory Management emotes. Alright. We have the Crimson Rocket Sparrow. We have the Heartbreaking Entrance Transmat effect. The Deep Sea Jaunt shader. And the Chrome Stock shader. Alright, for Bright Dust, we start off with the Head Slam emote. We then have the Lantern of Remembrance emote. The Celestial Ghost Shell. The Synth Howl ship. The All-Terrain Explorer Sparrow. The Shatterheart weapon ornament for the Cold Heart exotic weapon. And the Ace's High projection for your ghost. Alright. We then have the Oiled Gunmetal shader. The Grayscale Undergrowth shader. The Carbon Blood shader. The Whispered Sheen shader. Then we have the Cabal Arrival Transmat effect. The Mercurius Entrance Transmat Effect. And lastly, the Dreaming Shimmer Transmat Effect. Alright, and that is it for week 12. Once again, I am not streaming this week over on Twitch. However, next Tuesday at around 3 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll begin the streaming of the entirety of Hersey from Act 1 to Act 3. So if you'd like to come check that out, feel free to follow my Twitch channel and so you can be notified when I go live next week. And if you missed the stream next Tuesday, the VOD will be going up live next Friday. So I hope to see you in there. In the meantime, have a wonderful week 12, and I will see you in the next one, everybody. Goodbye.